That's a good one. That's a good one. Oh, God, it's a toad.
Get
son.
that.
It's a toad, dude.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day.
What is going on, OneCast fans? Welcome back to Fishing Friday Live. A little bit different look tonight, as Ben is not here with us, but we have Nick Kincaid, Carolina Waters, Nick Kincaid Fishing, Kincaid Home Maintenance, I think is the name of his company.
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff.
Soba,
Special Operations Bass Anglers. We're definitely going to talk about that event. I know some of you are coming down to fish it, so looking forward to that. But before we do that, we've got to go through everybody that helps make this possible. So we're going to start with OneCast Fishing. Head to onecastfishing.com. Use the code the OneCast, all one word, at checkout. Save yourself some coin. Get some of the snagless jigs, long neck hooks, weedless nets, all of that good stuff, especially the bait Trey's holding right there.
Yeah, man.
This
Like
is a
he
secret.
said, this is a secret bait.
What's up, Aaron?
So we're not going to tell you about it. So just go to one. No, I'm just kidding. This is the Nighthawk right here. This is the hematoma color. There's a variety of colors that OneCast Fishing has to offer. This one right here works really well. Stained water, tannic water, stuff like that. The green pumpkin, obviously, you can't beat a natural presentation like that. Alabama craw and another couple different colors. But I'll tell you what, water's high, flipping stick comes in your hand, and this is what you're going to jack them in the mouth with. So use that code, the OneCast. Save yourself some change. And also, while you're online, head on over to our buddy's website at carolinawatersnc.com. Pick yourself up some of that awesome UPF gear. These are brand new pair of gloves. They got the hats. They got the UPF shirts. They got the buffs. They got new lines of apparel consistently coming out. Show support to those who support us the most. Nick, do you got anything to say on Carolina Waters before we move on?
no, just we have our new UPF performance in the camo for all of our hunters.
Yep.
So bow season's coming up. September 7th is opening
right.
day, and it's most likely going to be hot. So
Yep.
we might as well get the UPF 50 and not be so sweaty.
Yeah, I mean, I told the audience last time, like, I am fried because I forgot my Carolina Waters UPF 50 shirt out there, and I 100% regret it. So head on over there, carolinawatersnc.com. Use the code the OneCast. Also save yourself some change. And then Pete is consistently dropping the links in the lives. The links are on all of our socials. You can go to our link tree. You see all the supporters of the show. Use that link. Head on over to hobieeyewear.com. Pick yourself up some of the frames that we like to use. The floating frames. They got casual lifestyle. They got prescription glasses. All sorts of different flavors for what you're interested in. These ones right here have been a lifesaver, and these are the second pair that I've had this year because I took a 3/4 ounce tungsten weight to the eye, and thankfully Hobie had me covered. It was able to punch right through that, but I didn't take any damage. This is the second pair of those, but these are the tournament winning glasses, the ones that are out there with the broken lenses that Mikey wore at Lake Gaston this year for the Fishers of Men. So pretty famous glasses. Use that link, save 15% on your order. Turn $100 and something pair of sunglasses into $83. Save yourself some change.
That's right.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's up, David Fuchs?
So
Jesse
let
Bowman.
me just say
Jeff
something
Moore.
about the Hobies.
Same.
Have some too, and just want to say thank you to Hobie Eyewear. They sent us 6 pairs of the Hank Cherry floating frame ones for our SOBA tournament this year.
Yep.
So
Awesome.
So thank you to them.
Speaking of that SOBA tournament, Nick, you talked about it. Pete's representing the hat right now with the Special Operations Bass Anglers Charity Tournament this year. It's for a fallen service member in Special Operations community, a different service member every year. It's the annual Mark McCowan Special Operations Bass Anglers charity event. This year, Nick, who's it in?
I want
who's
to make
the
sure I get the
memorial?
name right. Let me pull it up here.
I know I put you on the spot, but this happens the Friday before Veterans Day, and this year,
Warrant Officer 1, Sean Mullins.
Yeah, Sean Mullins.
Yep, Sean Mullins, 5th Special Forces Group guy. 5th Special Forces Group's out of Fort Campbell. For any of you who are wanting to know that, those guys cover a very bad area of the world, which is my bad area of the world. Show your support. That is in November. So what's the date on that?
The 8th.
November 8th. So that's a Friday. And then Sunday, I believe, is Veterans Day. So the cool thing about that is everybody and their brother shows up to fish that tournament. Are you guys getting who's doing the weigh-in this year? Is it still MLF?
Yes.
Okay.
MLF will still bring their weigh-in trailer out.
Yep.
They been supporting us since the beginning.
Yep.
With that, so very thankful for that. But we're looking for a good crowd this year.
That's right.
Better than last year, and we got some new things coming in, and we'll have some new T-shirts there that the guys can get. A lot of different people. Luz has sent us some more Rods and Reel combos. Onyx has sent us stuff. We'll have all kinds of soft plastics there. It's going to be a good time.
That's right.
Everybody should catch fish. Lake Norman has actually been on fire here pretty recently. So I think it's just going to get better.
Spend your money, come out and just develop relationships with all of us. There's a lot of swag that happens at fishing events and money and stuff like that, but it's beyond that for this annual charity tournament. This is as a memorial opportunity for those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice for our country. You guys hosted an amazing event last year. We were able to attend that. We are going to go every year from here on out, and we look forward to all of you. David Fuchs is driving down from Jersey. Our buddies driving up from Florida like they did last year. It's a great time. It's a great opportunity to create memories and long-lasting relationships. So
it's fun time of year on Norman.
It's
a good derby. So looking forward to getting out there again, supporting a great cause, meeting some new folks, and hopefully winning that sweet plaque that the winners get. I told Trey this year that I want that more than anything.
And
no, I'm just kidding.
Everybody's a winner, but that plaque is awesome.
The plaque is cool. Yeah, they're trophies.
Who used to say it? I think it was the old Weighmaster for when FLW. It was like the money spends, but the hardware lasts forever.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Was that Chris? No, Chris Bose is for BASS. I can't remember who he is. You might know him because you fished Toyota Series before. Who's the Weighmaster for the Toyota Series?
Well, they have different ones.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. Each division.
Okay.
I don't remember who used to
Sweet
say
line, man. Like money spends, hardware lasts forever, and that couldn't be further from the truth. So
further from the truth or more of the truth?
It couldn't be more than the truth.
Could be further from the truth.
I don't know. Whatever, dude. Money spends. That's the truth.
It does spend fast. It does spend fast.
Throwing a wrench in the gear.
So, throwing a gear in the wrench. Whoop.
Yes. We finish each other's
sentences.
Sandwiches.
So I hope everybody's doing well. Jeff said something up there. He said, "What's Nick doing there? He can't catch any fish."
Oh Lord.
Gentlemen, Aaron. Some are gentlemen, not everybody. David Fuchs again. Christine, glad you're here as always. David Fuchs, here's your monthly reminder to use our code whenever you order from our partners.
Jeff
said that helps out a lot.
Jeff said he's going to be in DJ.
Who's DJ?
I mean,
no, I'm just kidding.
What is that?
I'm guessing it's DC.
Oh,
or maybe he
Jeff,
might
you mean DC?
Jeff, you going to be
DJ?
Are you going to be in Djibouti? Djibouti, Africa? Because DJ is for
David. Wow. Sorry, bud.
Yeah, man. I feel we didn't go live last week, right, Pete? You were on the road.
Oh yeah, Djibouti. Djibouti.
Oh, nice, Jeff. Well, have fun.
Stay
it's
safe.
hot
Have
there.
fun.
Man, yeah,
We'll be thinking of you.
For those of you who don't know, Djibouti is in Africa. That's a big country.
Sounds warm.
Yeah.
Just kidding. It's a continent for everybody. Jeez. Yeah, stay safe, Jeff, man. Let me know if you need anything. I got contacts. So, yeah, we didn't go live last week because Pete was on the road between here and Pennsylvania. Ben, I think, was like making a bunch of Nighthawks and doing a bunch of stuff. And then we had, Hurricane Debbie Downer come through and then, created a little bit of a prime fishing opportunity to get out there and flip some, get away from that forward facing sonar, that offshore fishing, and just go shallow and just have fun, right? Picking up that flipping stick and doing that. So, I don't know what the lakes look like right now. Are they still, they got to be.
I haven't looked.
The ramps are, they're not up in the air anymore.
Okay. So ramps are open. Yeah.
Yeah. Ramps are open and are cleared out.
Yep.
I know the guys that with Falls Lake came over and helped
I
with
saw
that as well.
Yeah.
To clear the ramps away. So, but that water gets 3.5 feet at Jordan. Just pick up a flipping stick.
That's right. Aaron said Jordan is still 5 feet up.
It probably is. Yeah, it'll take a while for them to wall that water up.
But they did announce that Pose was open the other day, which Nick was talking about with the guys at Falls coming down and helping. And speaking of helping, our good buddy Seth Micah with NC WRC.
Jordan's 219.7, so it's 3.37, 3 3/4 foot high, basically.
Those guys are going to be looking for your help. So you can go to their website page and check out like their upcoming events, specifically helping out with the aquatic vegetation planting in our different lakes here. I know they've been cracking down on Grandma Bain, which is a city lake in Raleigh. They've been doing a lot of planting there, but they're also looking for your feedback as well. I know we've talked about it before, but if you have a specific body of water that you believe has been on the downtrend because of a lack of habitat or bait or whatever the case may be, they want to hear your feedback. So, shoot them an email or shoot them a text, whatever the case.
You can send them the feedback, but just know that they're not gonna, until their data matches what you're telling them, nothing's gonna get done. So
that's true. Yeah.
Don't send feedback expecting them to jump and try to do something about it, because that's not the way it works. They have to have science to back it up. And,
Well, I can tell you right now, Norman needs some habitation.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I mean, they know
But it
the
won't-
areas.
it
What's
won't
up,
ever
Nadu?
get- it
You
won't
really
ever
have
get
to.
What?
That's just rude, man.
My goodness.
Just kidding. We love you. So, has the air temp cooled down enough to cool the water down? No. I mean, we've only had air temps that were decent for 3 or 4 days.
Yeah,
It'll
it's going
cool
back
the
up
surface
next
temp
week.
for a day or two, but then
Yeah.
it's supposed to be 95 next week with 100% humidity again. So it'll be right back. Well, welcome, Pius. Pius.
Pius. Pius. Hey, welcome,
Well, it
brother.
was my turn to not
Come on
be able
now.
to talk then. Nadu, I hope you're doing well. So yeah, Jordan's still almost 4 foot. Most of the lakes are still going to be up. They, flood control and all that. They've got to control the release of that water to can I get to know more about this? What do you want to know more about, bud?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a couple of comments before I deneutral.
Pete gets into that squirrel moment with these comments.
Yeah.
Well, that's my job.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to
for
moderate the comments, but so the lakes are still up. They're controlling that. So we talked about Soba. Let's talk about warrior fishing. Take warrior fishing. September 7th, we have our fundraising event at Tap Yard in Raleigh.
Yep.
Warrior Fest. There's a cornhole tournament. I can't remember it's like noon to 9, right? I think it's
I'll pull up the flyer. You're good. Keep rolling.
But it's going to be a good time. We're going to be up there. We're not going to do a live that Friday. We're going to do a live from the event there on that Saturday. I lost my mouse, and Trey's got it pulled up.
Yeah. So Saturday, September 7th, you guys can go to the Tap Yard in Raleigh. There's going to be food. There's going to be raffles. There's going to be entertainment. An opening band, Gypsy Railroad at 6 p.m. and then followed by Stray Volts. 8 p.m. There's a cornhole tournament, $50 entry fee, cash prize to the top 3 teams. It's going to be a great opportunity just to get to hang out with everybody. So 6 p.m. it seems like when everything kicks off, Pete.
So, well, that's the bands, but we're going to be there all day. It starts at noon, I believe. I don't think he posted the time yet, but
Yeah, probably not.
we're going to be there pretty much all day. Just check out warriorfishing.org for all the details on that. The bands start at 6 p.m. And I don't think they set a time for the cornhole to start and all that. They're waiting.
You just need to sign up for the cornhole tournament by 5:30 p.m.
There you go. So it is going to start after 5:30. So head there, check it out. And then November 2nd is our last fishing event of the year, which is just called Warrior Fishing. It's on Sharon Harris, November 2nd, out of Holloman's boat ramp, not out of what's the other one? Cross Point. I was going to say New Hope, not out of Cross Point. It's out of Holloman, so the bigger of the ramp. That is an all species tournament, November 2nd, 2024. So if you're a boater or a warrior, you can sign up. You will be assigned a warrior as a boater. You'll go out. There's 3 prize categories. So largest bass, largest catfish, largest panfish, but it's really just about going out, catching fish, showing them folks, showing our heroes, our warriors, recreational therapy, getting them out on the water, getting them into some fish. The crappie fishing will be really good. That time of year, it just depends on what the water is doing, on how the bass fishing be. It could be a good, fun, shallow day. It might be a little bit of a struggle. Old Karen can really Karen out in the fall. So you just never know, but it'll be a good time. So I know I'll have
Uh,
everything to go chase whatever.
So will there be a fish fry?
I don't know.
Afterwards.
We should find out.
I mean,
As long as it's within the creel limit, like you can keep whatever you want, I would
Yeah.
assume.
Now
after
there's
that.
no slot limit.
I mean,
on
take one of
bass,
those,
so
take one of those
Yeah.
22-inch bass,
Yeah.
just flay it up and throw it in the front.
Hey, for sure, dude. And you know
20.
what? And you bring something. So the slot, as everyone knows, in Sharon Harris. I know if you're not local, this doesn't apply to you. But if you make your way down here, there is no more slot limit on Sharon Harris. And I will tell you, the very first tournament after the slot limit was removed, Josh Hooks whacked almost 20 pounds for a Wednesday night tournament.
Nice.
Right. And then this past Wednesday, it took 17 and a half to win. We're dealing with that front post hurricane, not really fall turnover yet. It's still summer pattern, but like that thermocline, you can tell is starting to kind of dissipate, like where the water's flipping and stuff. It's very silted up and things like that. I don't know. The thermocline's probably still set up, but it's just dirtier,
Yeah.
right? As the summer progresses and stuff like that, that water starts to turn color.
Mhm.
All that boat traffic out there is silting it up, and then the hurricane, by the way. So fishing can be pretty tough if you can't find them, and even when you do find them, they're a little finicky. So
Is there still it's been about a month since I was out there. Last time I was out there was no thermocline. Did it come back?
there's still a thermocline out there at 15 foot right now, based on what I saw on downscan imaging and stuff like that. Which, if you're looking to do that, just go ahead and increase your settings on DSI, and then you'll see like a line that goes across the bottom. If you don't see one, you're either A, not deep enough, or B, it's gone. But yes, when I was out there on Monday or Sunday, there was still a thermocline set up. So
Awesome.
it'll be changing though. So, but yeah, man, that slot limit's gone. So I say have a fish fry. Let's cook them all.
Yeah. Crappies.
Knock
good.
the sides off of them. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Even those 15-inch bass is gonna make some people mad. But you know what? They gotta go.
They gotta go.
You know what I mean? So there's been
So,
Water
so
still
with
somewhere.
that,
Yeah.
you guys are accepting volunteers for that, correct?
Yeah.
Not just the fish, but that can be there to help.
Yeah,
back in
absolutely. Yep.
boats and things of that nature too. So
Yeah, anybody that wants to come out and help, if you can't fish or don't want to, we'd
Yeah.
love to have you come out.
just to show the support means a lot.
yeah,
Absolutely.
sure.
Same with Soba. If you can't fish it, come hang out.
Yep.
At
Yep.
the ramp and just check out weigh in and holler. Everybody's going to be there because it's a fun one.
You
I'm
might
looking forward
be
to it.
able to back Shaw Grigsby's boat in the water if he shows up. This year.
I've
I'm just
been in,
saying.
I've been in his boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's pretty awesome. He's a great guy.
So one of the other team guys, Brent Jensen, has like the biggest man crush
On Shaw.
on Shaw. He was like a little girl when Shaw asked him if he would take his boat and put it on the trailer.
yes.
A couple years ago. Yeah. I mean, he just
In fact, I'll pay you to do it.
grinning. Yeah. I've been grinning from ear to ear. But yeah, I mean, Shaw will be there again. He comes every year. So
Yeah.
it's going to be a good tournament.
I
But
wonder if his boat goes slower, considering how much drag that mustache may
It might.
present. You know what I mean? Like it just flips up,
sometimes
which is a great mustache, by the way.
he could, it comes up, it might cover his eyes.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
sure.
We should have they need to have a mustache.
Yeah.
Between him and Hal.
You know what? It is November.
Yeah.
So we all need to grow mustaches. Nick's already got his rolling. Pete, he's burly enough. I guess I need to start right now.
Yeah, bum.
So I'll tell you what, buffs are a great thing.
Yep.
If we didn't have them, Mikey Nadu, his beard would be like, it would look like a comb over from the front.
I like
all
when he
the way.
forgets to put it on.
if he
It's
wasn't,
like
I
splits down
was
the middle.
thinking about this. We should totally if Mikey is so zoned out sleeping, we need to just sit there and spray hairspray on his beards is flipped up the whole time, dude.
that
oh,
would be
man.
funny.
But he'd wake up and probably shank us in the neck, so I don't want to do that. So
That or he would refuse to cook us food.
that's right. We can't have that.
We can't have
We
that.
need those mushrooms, Mike.
Yeah.
Magic mushroom. No, I'm just kidding. What's up, Zach Scott? Hope you all are well. Hate that I work during Fishing Fridays now. I hear you, man.
Mike, stop it.
Christine, I'm not growing any mustache. Listen, that's okay. We accept that. What David say? I was going to ask who has the better stash, Shaw or Hal. Go back to the episode if you haven't listened to it, David, and you'll hear the argument that Hal has, but he will say him and Shaw will say him. So I don't know.
My question is who has had it the longest?
I don't know.
Probably Shaw.
I don't know. They both look like Dale Earnhardt to me.
Shaw's had his mustache for as long as I can remember. I mean, I didn't know how as long as I've been seeing Shaw. So we might have to do a Facebook comparison and go back and see.
And then that goes on to another question. did Hal do it because of Shaw?
I don't know.
We'll have to ask Hal.
Are
Yeah.
you on the Shaw bandwagon?
These are the
I
pressing,
do. I like Shaw. I do.
These
I
are the
do.
pressing
Yeah.
questions we
Yeah.
have on Fishing Friday.
Yeah, you know. Hey,
Yeah. All
Uh,
right. So what was the meat and potatoes of the conversation today, Pete? What did we want to talk about today on the live?
I don't know.
You know. All right. So first, everybody knows, like, drop in the comments, like, what some of the topics you want us to cover. Obviously, there's straight up drama that we usually don't.
Drama.
Drama.
There's lots of drama in
There's
bass fishing.
Lots of drama in bass fishing. You know, a
Always.
lot of these organizations are having meetings.
Hey, I'm
about-
going to jump on my soapbox for a second when we talk about this drama.
okay.
If you're one of these professional anglers and you're like stirring up this drama, your job's not that important. You literally fish for a living. Let it go, bro.
Can
Like,
you give us the definition of professional angler?
if you make a living off of fishing, if more than 70% of your income is from fishing, I don't care if it's commercial, I don't care if it's tournaments, I don't care if it's YouTube videos, you are a professional angler in my book.
Yeah.
If you are able to pay the bills fishing, doing something with fishing, you're a professional angler. And that's just me. It's like I've said before, you do contracting, you're a professional. People hire you because you're a professional. There's no college, there's no like, oh, I'm not an elite series contractor.
Yeah.
No, you've done it. You do it for a living. You mastered your trade. You're a professional. Plumbers, everything. All of us, and what we do in our careers, we're professionals because that's what we do.
Yeah.
It's just really annoying that everybody is fighting across fishing, professional and the no more chicken pot pie show. Shut up, Mike. No more, no more. It's just really frustrating, and the fans are frustrating too. Like,
Can we
let
keep
it
the
go.
enchiladas?
Yeah, can we
enchiladas,
still get the
Mike?
enchiladas? Like, it's fishing, your job's not that important.
Yeah.
Like, I understand it's stressful, there's a lot of money on the line, but
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about making a life and death decision. You just have to go out and fish and just be blessed that you're doing that and just quit. But that's all I'm going to say on the drama. There's lots of it. You can go follow it. Zona is leaving.
Yep.
Been around for a long time. Figured that was coming. I know when the split happened. For those of you that don't know what the split is, that's when MLF decided to start a competitor to the elites, and half the elite, not half, but a bunch of elite series guys left. When that whole debate was going down, Zona and KVD are very close.
Yep.
And Zona told KVD, if you retire, I'll retire right now. And KVD decided to keep fishing, so Zona kept doing his thing. But it was kind of always the plan.
Yep.
When one of them walked away, the other one was going to. And you'll probably see the Zona show and whatever Kevin's show is called.
Kevin Van Dam experience.
Is that what
Yeah.
it is?
Yeah.
You will probably see them fishing the same lakes a lot. They're probably going to travel around. So
For sure.
congrats on him for getting out of the commentating industry, going in and focusing on the Zona show. Looking forward to that content. And Mike said he's not making enchiladas anymore, so he's now voted out of the house.
Oh man, you know what, Mikey? You're the reason why Rick Clunn retired.
That's right.
So-
It's your fault that it's going to be the first time in 50
I'm
years
retiring, dude. I can't do
that
this anymore.
a elite series tournament will start without Rick Clunn being
That's
in it, which is
crazy.
crazy to say.
Yeah.
So that there's a few other elite series folks that have stepped away, and I
Yep.
can't remember all the names, but
Frank Talley.
Talley, yeah.
Yep, he stepped away. You know, these guys are retiring, and we don't know for what reasons. Right? There's a lot of, we say, drama, and this kind of will tie into the question you had a little bit earlier, right? Like,
Frank Talley said he has grandkids and all that
Yep.
now, so he's ready to just do the family thing.
I think people mistake when somebody says they're going to retire that there's something wrong. Like, no, like they made the decision, like this is time in life that I'm going to walk away, just like I'm retiring next year. Like my time is up. You know what I mean? But
Different seasons of life, man.
different seasons of life, different chapters of your book of life, all that stuff. So, but yeah, man, like Rick Clunn leaving, Frank Talley leaving. We saw a couple of Elite Series anglers step away this year. We saw some guys step away from the invitationals this year to do the Toyotas. I mean, like it, but it's not new. Like this happens all the time.
Yeah.
Right. Like pre-forward facing sonar, like people were leaving due to financial reasons or family reasons or medical reasons or just personal choice. Like they just didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
And
And I want to get to Nick's question.
Yeah.
I don't want to dwell on why people are retiring or whatever, but
Right.
So with retiring, Rick Clunn leaving, that opens up a legend spot because
Yes,
he was
it
one
does.
of the legends. So there's a debate right now, and there's been some Bass has held some angler meetings with anglers. This is sort of public, but sort of not. I mean, there's stuff out there, so I'll talk about it. so the anglers don't want anybody to be able to take an exemption that has not been fishing BASS the last 5 years.
Yep.
So whether it's opens, whether it's nations, anything that BASS does, they want the angler that gets invited with that exemption to have been fishing with bass and not just using it to jump from the BPT or another organization, which I don't think is a shot at Jordan Lee, who did it. He left BPT to come back to bass.
Right.
So that means
It's interesting
So
to me.
worldwide cannot, which he doesn't have
he doesn't have an
exemption
exemption.
anyway.
Oh, wait, he won a classic, didn't he?
No, I don't think so.
I can't remember. But anyway, no, he wouldn't. But they're saying they believe the anglers should have been fishing BASS events for the last 5 years. What do you guys think? Personally, I like the idea because opinions again. My opinion is that's a sinking ship over there on the other side. You see some of the stuff that's going. Trey and I had a discussion about this earlier when we were in my garage. Like, if Boyd Duckett, who finished like 93rd, does not cut himself,
He won't.
my opinion is that's the end of the BPT. Like, I really feel like enough people will be fed up with the fact that he was in the 90 something and is continuing to fish just because he owns the organization.
Yeah.
But should that be for the folks that were successful, and some of those guys that have the opportunity to potentially be legends really talked a lot of smack on bass when they left and went to BPT? Should there be some type of criteria saying you need to go spend a couple years in the open? It might not be 5. 5's probably extreme, but maybe you need to fish a year of the opens or something before they shoot you an invite.
Yeah, I mean, personal opinion, I think if you left, because there was, we'll say, greener pastures on the other side, kind of find out there's not. I think if you left, you should have to go through the opens and requalify. Now it's hard doing it that way, but you made the choice to leave. I think if they just let them come back, it's almost like a participation trophy. Like you were here once, so we're just going to let you come back again. And when they do that, why don't they open it up to, instead of the top, what do they take, the top 10 from the opens?
Top 9.
Yeah.
Top 9. Okay, well, next year take the top 10 then.
Yeah.
Open that spot up for somebody that didn't leave.
Right.
Yeah.
So I have a little bit of a different perspective on it. And it's only the reason I say this is because the way that professional bass fishing is considered a sport that you pay for.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think it would be different, like you guys are saying, if there was loyal. I think you would demand loyalty for an organization that pays for you to be there versus I'm not so sure that you need to demand loyalty for you providing a service to that angler that they're paying for. Meaning, if there's a legend spot opened up, well, at the time it was the only place to be, right? Bassmaster itself.
Yep.
And they were there, right? And they were loyal, but they also paid you to be there, right? Whether or not they paid out of their pocket or their sponsors paid. When they made the choice to leave, yeah, they may have badmouthed or may not have badmouthed Bass, but at the end of the day, is Bass going to say, well, you weren't loyal to us? How can you really say that when they were paying you to be there anyways?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So like, I don't really know. I think that would kind of delegitimize the whole, like, using legend points to get back in anyways. If you were going to do anything, just don't do legend exemptions at that point. Right. I think there's a lot of people that want to see KVD go back to Bass. I don't think he's going to go back. I thought he was when he said he was initially going to retire, but who knows? Maybe he does. But I don't know, man. That's a hard one, because if it was like, hey, Bass offered me, $5 million endorsement contract to play on the field, and then I left and said, F you, and then I went over here because they offered me $10 million. Oh, hey, I want to come back. That's a different story. No, dude, I paid Bass to be there, and I paid BPT to be there. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my opinion.
Well, and one way you could do it is, so you could take all of your guys that are qualified for the exemption.
Yeah.
Legendary exemption. Have them fish the opens for that year,
and then the top
take the top guy. No matter if he finishes in the top 10 or if he finishes 50th, if he's the top one with that exemption, let him in then.
Yeah. this is such a weird like AKA sport. You know what I mean? Because it's like once I get booted out of the NFL, like I don't go back to college.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I keep saying, you know what I mean? I don't know why I say that, but anyway.
I do know what you mean.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? That's a way to like have somebody agree with you. You know what I mean? Right. Like, I don't know. It's weird, man. But you know, we always have our opinions on it, but it's like talking to some of our buddies that are fishing professionally. Like we all have our individual careers.
Mm-hmm.
We're just have an opinion on their sport. They're living it. And each one of them has their own opinion about it. And Pete was talking about the anglers having opinions on this, and then the anglers having opinions on rules changes, and the angler specifically forward facing sonar and information rules and all this stuff. And then we're in the outside looking in saying, why are you crying about spilled milk? But they're thinking like, no, dude,
that's
like, this
living.
is my career, right?
Yeah.
Like I need to speak up, you know? So,
And it's always easier to be on
What's
the
up,
outside
Brad?
looking in
yeah.
and, you know,
Yeah.
having
Being an
opinion.
arm.
No, it is.
Back for sure.
Yeah.
It is. Like I said, I think there needs to be some loyalty. I don't think there's any reason to do away with the legs and steps. And those folks have absolutely earned it. That's the reason they implemented it, was to give people an easier method back that have decided to retire or step away.
Yeah.
But I also agree that there should be some loyalty. And I think the reason this has come up is because the only folks left bass that could come back. What's up, Tony? That's not Ben, it's Nick. But yeah, we're glad to all be together. We're glad to have Nick here sitting in for Ben, who's visiting his significant other.
He's sitting in for Nick.
Yeah, he's sitting in for Nick. Somebody's sitting in for Nick. Anyway, I forget where I was going. But so I think I understand it. I also think it's important that there's some loyalty. But like I said, I think the reason this has come up now is the only folks left that have Legends exemptions available talked a lot of smack on bass and they hurt a lot of people's feelings.
Yeah.
They ended a lot of very close friendships over it, and it's out. The information's out there. You know, the beef between Skeet Reese and Chris Zaldain, who were super good friends. That the split,
How you doing, Chelsea?
essentially killed that friendship. Kevin Van Dam and Zona had a hard go for a couple years after the split because Kevin didn't say anything bad because that's not Kevin, but Zona was mad that he was leaving to go take a risk, you know, with a different organization.
Yeah.
Everybody remembers Edwin Evers commertions talking about how MLF was going to take bass out.
He will not be.
No, like, and those are the guys that are left. So I think the only other one that still has one would be Ott Defoe, who's potentially, but I don't know if he would leave because he's, again, you know, Bass Pro Tour, Bass Pro Shops. He's been with them for a long time. There's probably some loyalty there. So it'll be interesting to see who gets invited, because it is an invite. You can't just call and be like, hey, I have Legends points. It's my spot.
Right.
Bass has to reach out to you,
Yeah.
which was kind of why everybody was surprised they reached out to Jordan, just because he was a younger guy. But I think it was a great move, and Jordan had a heck of a year, his first year back.
Great year.
So we'll see where that goes. I just wonder what your guys' opinion was on that.
No,
you know,
it's
potentially needing to have some time with the organization before them opening up their arms to you coming back.
Yeah.
And on that, Nick asked us a really good question earlier.
Ooh.
And so we figured we would talk about it with y'all, and y'all can definitely give us your opinions. But the question Nick posed, I'll actually let you, because you asked it. So go ahead.
Yeah. So my question is, when do you know it's time to step down? And we'll use MLF for instance, just because they have the BPT, the Invitationals, the Toyotas, and then the BFLs. So when do you say, you know what, I'm just not good enough to be fishing in this league? When is it time for me to step back and you know, go back to your home roots and fix some techniques, learn new techniques? You know, when do you say, you know what, maybe I'm spending too much money, I'm not making enough? You know, when is it time to just say, you know what, I just need to step back?
Yeah.
Not saying that when you step back, you are a failure, because you're not.
Yeah, you give it a good shot.
You know, you went out there.
Have a boat, Jeff.
Yeah. But you know, it's, you know.
So you're posing the question that it's not a financial issue. Like, your finances are good. You could still afford to continue to fish at that, whatever level you were. Okay.
Yeah, whatever level you're at, you know, you can still afford it. You still got the time to do it. But when do you say, okay, well, I've been fishing this league for 5 years. I might have had 1 or 2 decent years, but all the rest I'm in 120th place.
Yeah.
We're spending thousands and thousands of dollars, and there's really no investment coming back in.
Sure. No, that's
Do you want to go first or you want me to go first?
well, I'll make a statement and then you can go.
Okay.
And David, you're absolutely right. Like ego plays a huge role in making
For some folks. for
logical and rational decisions, right? Clearly the 3 of us in the room are not like, we're not professional anglers, right?
Sure. Speak for yourself.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
But that's a good question, I think, and I think that you're going to get a million different answers for it, especially if you don't. So I'll tell you who makes it really easy for you to tell you when you need to step away, and that's BPT and BASS elites, right? They're going to tell you,
Yeah,
because you're going to get cut, right? And BPT might cut you sooner rather than you thought,
But
right?
still,
And invitational.
well, let's say that you're doing enough to requalify, but you're not
Yeah.
succeed. Like,
So
when
you're-
do you personally have to make that call? It's not the league making the decision for you. So I'll tell you, for me,
Yeah.
it's if I'm not improving, if I'm staying stagnant and I'm getting my teeth kicked in years and years in a row. To me, there's no point. There's something wrong. It's either you're into it. You're going to have bad years, right? We've all talked about it. Like,
Yeah.
one, you can't base it off of 1 year, but if you're having 2, 3, 4 bad years in a row, you're not seeing any improvement, and you can't throw like one good derby. And like, if you have one good derby, everybody can get lucky.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a lot of luck in fishing.
Anybody can win one.
Anybody can
classic.
get one, not a classic. No, but I'm saying, but even still, though, you could fish a classic and potentially,
Yeah.
if everything lines up, you could win that. But what I'm saying, like, what I mean is, you can't take one good derby in 4 years and say, okay, I belong here. It may not even be that you don't belong here. You just may need to hone your skills a little more.
Right.
Ego, for me, ego is not an issue. Like, I'll tell you straight up that I suck at fishing. I just get lucky every once in a while. Trey will tell you that he yells at me all the time, but like, I'm not great. I'm good enough to go out there and wiggle a worm around and hook a bass every once in a while, but that's about the extent of my skill. Trey carries me in tournaments. So no, but for me, like I said, it's if I'm not learning, because you're either green and growing, right?
Yep.
Or you're brown and rotting. So if I'm not growing as an angler at that level and it just becomes miserable, I'm going to step down. Like, that's where I'm like, okay, I need to take a step back. I need to work on some things personally. I need to figure some stuff out. And then, I can hopefully get back to that level one day.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. I would hope a lot of people have that same mentality. I kind of use it. Kind of what I did last year. I was offered an opportunity for promotion, not promotion, but the same position that would have taken it away from somebody else, knowing that I was brown and rotting and not green and growing, right? From a career perspective, like, I was on the downward trend. I think that's a little harder to judge in the professional fishing world. But I would say one thing, when it stops being fun and you find it's more toxic than anything, when you're constantly beating yourself. Obviously the points are the points. David made a comment, like, when you become irrelevant. I don't know if irrelevant is the right word. You're just basically paying everyone else's lunch at that point.
Yeah.
But I think when you find yourself not being yourself, when you're mentally and emotionally not invested in why you started doing it originally, it becomes more of a task rather than an enjoyment or something you look forward to waking up in the morning. If at the point you realize that you are going to fish for second place, then you're probably not doing it for the right reasons. I'm not saying I'm fishing. Some guys know, like, some lakes they just suck on. They're like, I'm going to go cash a check, but I know that I probably don't have a shot at this. But for the most part, as a competitor, you should want to go in and beat everyone all the time. And if you find yourself saying, like, dude, I'm just showing up and going through the motions,
You need to stay home.
I think you need to go.
Yeah.
Right. Not only to open that spot for the next guy or gal who's the future, but also for yourself.
Well, we saw that
Right.
this year a little bit with Drew Gill. Like, he decided not to fish the last 2 events of the invitationals because he was in the running for AOI.
Right.
And he knew that if he went out there and did well, he was going to take a spot away from,
Yeah.
because they, unlike bass, where if you double qualify, they'll go down and take the next one.
Yeah.
They don't do that in BPT or in MLS.
And that shows
he knew he was going to take a spot away from.
That shows how good his character is.
Yeah. And I see what you're saying. If you're just eating a spot and you're not doing anything with it, and there's young guys that are ready to go and you're just there to be there. And I'm going to say I love Rick Klung, but I feel like the last few years that was sort of where the position he was in. He was getting older. He was struggling over the days. Like, to me, I was ready for him to retire. It's sad to see him go, but like, it was just a spot that wasn't available because it does count towards the hunt. You know, they want that magic 100 number. It always ends up being a couple extras here or there.
104.
Yeah. 103, and they always end up with some people leaving season, whether it's health reasons or whatever. But that's a great point. Like, if you're just, but that's a character thing too.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a lot of folks that
and bass or BPT or any of these communities, they're not.
What's up, Ben?
They're not gonna give you a character assessment.
Yeah.
You're gonna get the bylaws, and then they're gonna say, "I want my deposit."
Yeah.
Right. There's no assessment and selection program. Mine is qualifying for the elites or qualifying for the BPT.
Chelsea said she's only hanging up if she stopped getting excited, so she doesn't care about those young kids.
And Rick Klun,
No, I'm just kidding.
and Rick Klun made that comment.
Yeah.
Like, once my hands stop shaking, I'm hanging it up, and maybe his hands stop shaking, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe his hands are still shaking, but he's like, they're not shaking because I'm excited anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like,
50 years is a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Bro.
Beating yourself up on the water, fishing multi-day tournaments all over the country. Like, I don't know how to do.
I don't know how you could do 50 years doing anything as a job.
No.
You know, kudos to those.
Oh, absolutely. Like,
For sure.
It's an accomplishment and a half. It's just, that's a tough call. Nick, what you asked the question. So what's your opinion? Like, when do you feel like it's time to take a step back?
You know, really, I would think that sort of like what you said, when you're stagnant, you know, if you just keep coming in, if you're you know, over and over again, and again, not just after a year, because you can have a bad year.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen that with what's his name? He did the post last year about the sponsorships and stuff like that.
Oh, Jacob Founts,
yeah. You know, he didn't do very well last year, and then this
second
year,
in AOI,
and then this year he comes in, and I think he cashed a check in every tournament.
I know he beat the brakes off.
He
his
was
competitors.
just about one AOI.
You know, so you know.
Well, just look
I
at
would
Joey
think-
Cifuentes too. Like, last year, wins 2 Elite Series events.
So,
and
speaking of
struggles
Joey,
big time.
speaking of Joey, happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Joey!
His birthday.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you're gonna have them down years, but I think, you know, if you look back after, you know, 3, 4, 5 years, and you're, like you said, kind of stagnant, always on the upper end, you know, it might be time for you to, you know, either hone your skills more, you know, in the off season, or step down. I know with bass, you know, they got, you know, the opens, and then there's the nation.
Yeah.
So, you know, and maybe it's a confidence thing.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you just lost your confidence for, you know,
It's a
a
big
year or
thing.
two, and, you know, you always think you're making, you know, the wrong decisions. Well, go and do a local tournament.
Yeah.
You know, at a place that you are good at.
Yeah.
You know, and try to get that confidence back up, maybe. But yeah, I mean, I think if you're always in the bottom third, that's a pretty good sign of maybe
You need to
know,
reevaluate.
You know, maybe you need to reevaluate and take some. I'm not saying take time off, because the only way you're going to get better at fishing is to fish.
Yeah.
You know, but maybe take it down a notch.
Let me throw this at you. Even if you are winning every tournament, or you're always top 10ing, or you're always cashing a check, if everything that you believe in is being compromised by that organization's changes and all the people around you, you may want to step away at that point too, right? Like, if the climate is not what you thought it was. And there are plenty of people that have gotten into a profession and said, this is not what I thought it was.
Yeah.
If you're going to just try to stick it out, it could be very catastrophic for your mental and emotional, spiritual health, right?
Yeah.
Physical health as well, marital relationships, things like that. So, and then there's the other part of it. And I've seen this happen in my community when you can start feeling the judgment and start feeling the emotion and literally like people are looking at you like you don't belong here anymore. Now you can do one of three things. You can kick their ass like Jacob Fouts did. And I'm not saying people said he didn't belong there, but he went and whooped their butts. You can straight up quit, or you can just kind of linger on, dude, and lose friends and they were never really real friends to begin with. But when everybody starts looking at you like you're the oddball, like it's time to do some reflection, right?
Yeah.
And it could not be you, it may not be you, but just when it doesn't feel right, I think a lot of times, like as instinctual as anglers are, a lot of times we're unaware of other things that are going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like you may be able to read the water. You may be able to understand bass behavior. But dude, you're consistently finishing 101st in everything. And you're spending tens of thousands and thousands of dollars to be here. Now, if you have that kind of money, good for you. Keep rolling with it, man, because you're paying someone else's bills.
Yeah.
But if you're thinking like, hey, maybe this is for me, I'm just going to stick it out for 20 years. Like, I don't know, man. Like, it's your individual decision, but may not be for you.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Well, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. If you got to step away or whatever, there's no shame in it.
No.
I mean, you gotta, and with some of the elites and stuff like that, have stepped down, for family or even finances, you just realize you just can't do it, financially. And, you always have to do what's best for you and your family.
Yeah.
It's these guys that take out, second mortgages and stuff like that to keep doing it.
Right.
That's not smart.
And you talked about there not being a financial thing associated with it, and there doesn't have to be. When I talked about the climate changing, and Jeff, you're right, man. You've been with your club for 17 years, and never quit, never give up. Like that is true as long as it doesn't become something that makes it impossible for you to do that, right? And what I mean by that is this. If organizations, and we've seen a lot of this going on lately, we've seen it more because social media makes it more accessible. I think it's been going on forever. You just didn't hear about it as much. But if organizations that you're paying for to participate in aren't holding people accountable, that are deliberately breaking rules, and we don't have to get into the nuts and bolts of it, but I would say this. If I was in said organization and people were deliberately cheating right in front of me and they're still making more money than me, I'm walking away.
Oh yeah. I
am not going to pay to participate in unethical behavior. Not going to happen, right? Because I hold myself to the standard. I'm not going to cheat. I'm not going to go out there and violate the rules.
Right.
I'm not going to take money from somebody else, right? What happens when you get caught cheating at a casino? You get banned.
Oh yeah.
You go to jail.
Yep.
Right? If it's happening right in front of your face and no one's holding people accountable and they're taking your money, absolutely not. I'm out.
Yeah.
I can do something different.
With that, that's why I don't understand when people do break the rules and cheat and stuff like that. It's like, because it might be, we'll just say Fishers of Men, you cheat in a Fishers of Men tournament, you're going to get kicked out. Well, that goes on in North Carolina.
You're done.
Everybody else is going to hear about it, and you're not going to be able to fish any tournaments anymore. Right. You might be able to get into, maybe a Thursday nighter or something like that, where maybe they don't know you.
Nah, you're not.
But you're just
stuff in North Carolina.
You're ruining. You're not only ruining your fishing opportunity, but you just ruined your. People are not going to have respect for you.
Yeah.
Your testimony of what you got and what you are. Because then everything comes into question.
Yep.
You get caught cheating one time.
That's it.
Well, what about, they won the past 2 tournaments, or they won 5 tournaments last year, 2 tournaments this year. You know, there's an asterisk.
Yeah.
You know, there's a question mark on it. So
Yeah, you don't want to, like, there's a lot of black eyes that happen from unethical behavior. Chelsea talked about compromising morality. David talked about it earlier, ego, right? If you see other people's egos get in the way of good decision making and it's taking money from you, I'm leaving, right?
Yeah.
If you see people compromising their integrity because of their ego and it's taking money from me, I'm leaving, right? And if it's putting a hindrance and it's causing relationship issues with me and my family, my friends, right? My religion, anything like that, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know that I can sleep at well at night doing that.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So that's actually a really deep question because there's so many people that have perspective on it.
Mhm.
Please provide yours. I mean, we got a lot of good comments and stuff
Yeah.
in the group, and share this. Once this video is done, it's going to be on the Facebook page and stuff. Share it with your friends and get their perspective on it. Like, we want to hear it, right? We're not just talking about like a washed up angler who finishes dead last all the time. Like, you need to step away. Like, that could be part of it, but it could be a lot more than that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I want to talk about upcoming stuff too a little bit. So appreciate that. The episode coming out Thursday, we had Kenny Odell with Black Ops Tackle. Make sure you check them out.
Yes.
blackopstackle.com. They got a really cool deal going. They're saltwater heavy right now. They're getting more into the bass game. They got some fly fishing stuff for like fly fishing for trout, freshwater trout, like mountain trout, stream trout. They've got stuff for saltwater trout and all that as well. But they're doing it's sort of like if you listen to our fish tips episode, but it's not like paying for a tip. So you're buying a tackle bag that is put together either by a professional angler or a guide. It's exactly the lures, colors, and everything that they pick. They don't substitute. If they say it's a Rapala skitter walk, you're getting a Rapala skitter walk. You're not getting the Ozark Trails jerkbait or top water to replace that. You're getting the exact color, the exact bait. It's a really cool concept they have going. Even cooler is 5% of every sale that they make goes back to help veterans in active duty. So for the last 2 years, they've been donating 5% of every sale to the Fisher House. And if you don't know what the Fisher House is, think St. Jude's, except for veterans. So veterans going through medical issues, treatments, surgeries, long recoveries, the Fisher House puts their family up in a home, hotel, helps with meals, all of that. So the only thing they have to worry about is helping their loved one heal and get better. So they're getting ready to end that 2 years, and they're going to go to another organization, which hasn't been announced yet, and they'll donate 5% of every sale to that organization so they can spread the wealth. They're about giving back to our veteran community. Great episode coming next week on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
We have a new partner the following episode that will be announced, or no, 2 episodes after that.
Yep.
We have a new partner we'll be talking about. The episode after that with the new partner. So when we had Mike Johns on, we talked about using fishing to help veterans heal and try to end veteran suicide. The response to that episode has been insane.
Amazing.
So we're trying to continue to show the healing capabilities of angling and time outdoors on the water. So we have I'm going to call her a professional angler, a female professional angler that fly fishes trout tournaments, Euro nymphing, if you know what that is, if you don't look it up, who overcame opioid addiction and a lot of other struggles through fishing, through trout fishing, fly fishing. Pretty incredible. She was very open. I know her personally. I went to school with her through high school and then found out that she had gone through some of these struggles. So she was very open in the email about everything she had been through, and she wants to share that with everybody. So just continue to try to spread the message we've been spreading about, how much we can help our fellow humans by just being decent, taking them fishing, introducing them, because you don't know what you don't know. You hear us say that all the time. And that includes what people are going through, right? Like, we've all been through some shit. I'm going to say it straight up like that. Like, we all have trauma. We've all gone through stuff. You can't compare trauma. If you're around somebody who's comparing their trauma to yours and making theirs worse, find somebody else to hang around because trauma is trauma. Whether it's time in the battlefield overseas, something you have going on here at home, divorces, abusive parents, whatever it was, trauma is trauma, right? You carry that with you. and we all have it. We don't know what we're going through. These events with Take a Warrior Fishing with SOBA, it's an opportunity to get folks out that we don't know what they've gone through, and that one trip could be the trip that saves their life and introduces them to something. Like Trey's been open with his, what bass fishing did for him through Take a Warrior Fishing, or I'm sorry, Warriors on the Water, when that event was still around, and essentially saved Trey's life. I mean, not essentially, it did. It was a big part of me in my past and stuff that I had done. We've talked about it at length. And we're trying to give that back and share those stories and what it can do. So really looking forward to that one. That's going to be a tough one. Trey and I already said we plan on having a box of Kleenex sitting in here because I feel like that one's going to be tough. Mike Johns was tough. So if you have folks that have stories, that the fishing, hunting, something outdoors has helped them get through whatever their struggle is, whether it's abuse, whether it's opioids, whether it's suicide, whatever it is, if you know somebody and their story can help other people, please connect us because we want to try to share more of those stories.
Yeah. And I think a good one too was Rick Bassett.
Yes.
Yeah. Rick was another one.
That was another good one. And just a side note, Rick has decided that he is going to join Carolina Waters as well.
That's fantastic.
That's awesome.
So he'll be at the tournament, the SOBA tournament.
Let's go, Rick.
And everything. So
Rick did.
we're gonna try to get him in a boat, and I know he's big in bank fishing, but we'll get him out there.
Rick can catch them, man. I've seen him go out in boats with people and schwack them too.
So I'd really like to see a school of stripers come up for him.
Yeah, get him out.
I got into some striper, not during the SOBA tournament, but the next day in our Carolina Bassers championship. Yeah. I found them on forward facing, and the way they were set up, I didn't think they were bass, but they just didn't look. They didn't look like stripers. So I ran an A rig over the top of them, and I saw them come up, and I went, "Well, there was a striper." Yeah. And then I proceeded to catch about 4 more because it was so much fun.
Just a little side note too about what you were talking about, Pete. Listen, if you guys are going through anything, I know Mike Johns is, his number is always open for anybody to call. But seriously, if you guys are going through anything, I know each one of us be more than willing to talk with you, meet you if we can. You're not alone.
That's right.
And, it's very important to, you might think it's little or nobody cares.
Absolutely.
There are people out here that care. We care. We might not know you personally, but we care for you. So, if anybody needs anything, please, give us a call, text, message, anything like that. We're more than willing to listen.
That's right.
My house is always available now that I have one.
Yeah.
You can come. We'll come sit in the garage and help me hang tackle.
Yeah.
Drink some coffee and
help him organize that giant mess he's got. Hey, I want to say 2 things. First of all, congratulations. So for those of you who don't know, his name is Jonathan Turnbull. He's originally from Michigan. He was a major in the United States Army. He was one of my team leaders. He was one of the victims of the 2019 Manbij Syria suicide bomber attack, and I'll talk about his book here in a minute. But he just got reelected up in Michigan to serve his community and his constituents up there. So I want to say continuing to serve. He may not be able to physically see, but he sees very clearly. And I'll just leave it at that. So congratulations, John. I talked to you today. Man, I'm super proud of what you're doing, continuing to serve the nation. If you guys are interested in hearing John's story, first and foremost, we're going to get him down here, but I got to wait till I get out of the Army. That's a rule, right? So as soon as I get out of the Army, we're going to get John down here. We're going to talk about outdoor therapy because I think it was right after he got out of Walter Reed and he got back up to Michigan. He shot like a 22-point buck, and then he shot another like 19-point buck, and he's harvested black bear and moose and all sorts of stuff. And I won't spoil the story, but he's got a really cool way of harvesting animals through different nonprofit organizations that he works with. But he's got a book out there if you want to hear his story a little bit. It's called 0% Chance. You can hear about the cross-functional team Manbij, which is his personal story. And then also there was, one of our fellow service members, Shannon Kent. She was also, she was a fatality in that. And her husband wrote a book called Send Me the True Story of a Mother at War, which is a really great story that you guys can check out as well. It's not all veterans that we focus on here, guys. Like, it's everybody, just like Nick said. But if you have a story to tell, like, we're a platform to help you tell that story. We really want to make sure that we stand true to what we talk about, which is building that culture that we always promote. So our phones are always open. This show is always here for you. You can shoot us a message on all of our social media platforms. And at that, I will turn it over to Pete.
Yeah, no, man, I just appreciate that. If you want to hear more about Shannon's story, check out, if you don't listen to Sean Ryan show, number one, do, because that dude is probably the greatest truth teller of our generation currently, and just getting a lot of information out there about government and all kinds of stuff. Just eye-opening stuff. But he gets veterans to tell their story, and Shannon's husband was just on there and told that story, and it was a very powerful episode. So definitely check that out. But yeah, like Trey said, and Nick, we've given our numbers out personal. You can message us through the socials. We have the suicide hotline numbers all posted in our description every week. And we care. I truly do care. Like, I don't, it doesn't matter political affiliations, race, color, creed, none of that shit matters. We're all humans.
That's right.
And we all need to be there for each other. And we're all a community here. Fishing is a community. Whether it's bass fishing, Tyler's earlier said we're his new favorite podcast. I appreciate that, Tyler. I'm sorry it took a minute to get to that. And you said you're more chasing the crappie, which is awesome. I'm glad you're out there doing that. I'm pretty sure I've seen you out there. If I remember correctly, you have a silver Vexus. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I've seen you out there with a white Suzuki. For those of you who don't know, in North Carolina,
that's how you know.
You, like, if somebody's like, "Oh yeah, I've bass fishing," like, what kind of boat you run, and then they tell me, and I'll know whether they do or not.
That is,
I have seen their boat before.
That is literally how I knew Ben was Ben.
Yeah,
is by the way that his wife describes his boat. Yeah, he's got a Triton with a white power pole on it. I'm like, I know exactly who he is.
Yeah, I see him all the time. Yeah, that's how we know people in North Carolina is by their boat. So, but yeah, just reach out, man. No matter what, men, women, child, whatever you're going through, like, we're here. And I've got coffee. If Trey doesn't come over and drink all my beer, I usually have some cold beer.
Come on, man.
No, I'm just kidding. But
it's right behind you.
Yeah, come hang out. We'd be more than happy to just sit and chat, and we don't even have to talk about whatever is bugging you. We can just talk about fishing. But
that's right.
Sometimes just getting out and having somebody to talk to is the difference. So, and if you want to go fishing, hit us up. Like, we'll figure it out.
Yep. I'm
finally gonna maybe get this. Feel like I haven't fished in about 372 years. All I've done for 4 weeks is move. I feel like.
Yeah.
So I'm ready for that to be done. Just got a little bit more to go as far as organization and
a little bit more.
Yeah. It's not too terrible.
Chelsea knows.
Trey and I did a keep sell tackle thing today, and there was way more keep than sell. So Jeff, if you're going to be around this weekend, I'll try to get up with you.
You better catch him before he goes to DJ.
Yeah, I got to get with you before you leave. So,
Jeff, I'll just send you my address. If you can't figure out how to link up with Peter, I'll come meet you. So,
hey, if or you can wait and you can give it to me at the bass meeting that we got.
Oh, there you
September.
Go. There you go, Jeff.
Or
Either
that
way.
Yeah, either text me and we can try to link up or get them to Nick.
Wait, more baits?
They're not for me. They're for the Take Warrior Fishing event. They were donated by what's the tackle shop in Sanford that's hardly ever open? Thomas, yeah, Thomas Bait and Tackle. So he donated a bunch of baits that Jeff got for us. So
that's awesome, man.
There's a reason his wife isn't on the podcast tonight. Yeah.
Oh, and listen, Chelsea. Now
I got a gift
Trey. Trey is my witness. Pete has something from me.
For you,
and you probably know what it is. It comes from Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
Yep. I've got it in the car, so I will have that when I get home, and then I'll have to smell it for the next 3 days. So.
We appreciate everyone. Thank you so much for the comments. Like we said, once this video drops on the socials, share it with all your friends, family, those who you think need to hear the message that we continue to spread. It's not for you, like this channel or this show wouldn't have grown as big as it has. We appreciate your attendance, taking time out of your Fridays when we actually do go live. And once Pete gets moved in and all that stuff, we'll be a little bit more consistent with our lives. Please join us up at the Tap Yard September 7th. If you're in the Raleigh area, please join us at the Special Operations Bass Anglers event in November. Please join us at the Take a Warrior Fishing event. Please just join us. We appreciate all you guys. Nick, Pete, you got anything?
Chelsea got it. Quail
All right.
eggs. David Fuchs said Derby Day tomorrow. Good luck tomorrow.
Good luck.
Go smash them.
Go smash them in the face.
At least just go have fun. All right.
Yeah.
And we appreciate you guys and thank you for helping us to continue building a culture of anglers helping anglers one cast at a time.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Oh God, it's a toad, son. It's a toad, dude.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day.